So thinking back, I mean, you have a couple of years on me, but we're from the same generation. Thinking back, I mean, I've got three older brothers. I had hand-me-down cleats, hand-me-down glove. You remember the gold and black Eastons we would use, and there was no bat bag, there was no water bottles. If you were thirsty, you went out and got yourself, a drink from the water fountain. Other than the equipment, changes, how has the game changed since you started coaching?
The game has changed in a couple of ways. The athlete is bigger and stronger and faster. There's no question about that. I think that's just the development of athletes all the way through with the training that they do in weight rooms and could be with personal trainers or off season, et cetera. You got to remember part of it when I was growing up is that weightlifting was taboo for baseball players. That was not encouraged. And then as I got into the coaching here, it became more and more prevalent with that. So I think that's the positive change that you see. I think the negative change that you see with the players right now is that there's a lack of knowledge of how the game is played and the understanding of it. And we now at the college level have to teach more than we had to in the past. And I think that it goes back to where we are with travel baseball now. Everybody gets wrapped up in, I played 8 games on the weekend. That's great, but we're never learning the game. We're not having a practice to go over cutoffs and relays or bunt defenses. And to go along with that, few of our athletes now, our baseball players all across the country, know the history of the game or can sit down and watch the game and understand it. And that's our society now, our young people's societies. Everything's got to be instant. It's got to be on that phone with them. They're not going to sit or listen to a game on the radio. Right. We grew up listening to the game on the radio.
AM radio.
Yeah, and no matter what we were doing, if we were helping our parents around the house or something with a chore, the game was on a Saturday afternoon or at night. You sat on the porch or something like that. We'd learn the game that way. That's the two big differences that I see in the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I learned how to score the game. I listened to 760 AM, Tigers baseball, and I had me a book, and I learned how to score the game by doing that. So you probably have to do a lot of teaching then, with cutoffs and stuff with practice. Probably have some of your players, you got to work on a lot of that stuff.
We do a lot more than we had to in the past. No question about that. That's something that's just not it's not taught. And part of it too is a change in the coaching. We used to see coaches that made it a career, would coach 30, 40 years, somewhere along that. We don't see that anymore. We see coaches maybe 5, 10 years, and then they move off into something else. And a lot of it is the economic part of it, where coaches don't make a lot of money. Okay, I think everybody thinks that, well, you see a Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt or Jim Schlossnagle at Texas. Yeah, they're making big money. But the high school coaches and the Division II and III coaches, they're making a good living. But if you go into pharmaceutical sales, you're going to make a lot more money, okay, or some other field and have better hours with your family, et cetera. So we're seeing it. That's a change that we're seeing. No question about that.